Was, you probably sang the song already. He was a wee little man. Did you do that this morning?
Yeah.
And he was pretty small, but he had lots of money. But guess how he got the money? He sort of stole it from people. And what he would do was, he was a tax collector. But when he would walk over and he would say, I'm a tax collector, give me your money. And he would take too much money and he would put part of that money in his pocket. And then he would spend it on himself. And that's why I wore this today. Like, this is expensive fabric. I'm not really rich like Zacchaeus, but he wore expensive fabrics. I actually borrowed this from the costume room today, okay? Or he wore something like this around his neck with sequins on it. Or, like, look at fabrics that were in his home. Only the finest would do for him. So here we have fabric with real silver woven in. I'm pretending. And also fabric with gold in. Only the best for him is what he would have. So that's why now we have the purple room for him. Because purple, during Bible times, purple was a very difficult color to get. You had to pay people to dye it for you. So it was hard to get that color. Like if they used onion skins, you would end up with brown. But they had to use certain berries, and it took a lot. So we'll pretend he was so rich, he even had a purple room. Now we have him here by himself because he was so mean to other people, nobody wanted to come and visit him. They did not like him. So he would just sit there sometimes and count his money. So here he is with his money bags, and he's counting. He's opening it up to make sure nobody came in and stole any. So we have 1, 2, 3, and he would count up to 10. And I'm just imagining that he would have 10 gold coins in each bag, and then he could count them all. Oh, it's all here. I may not have friends, but at least I have money. So then we're putting a window over here and pretending this is outside. He heard someone outside, and this was a messenger. Now, a messenger had a very important job. They didn't have cell phones back then, no TVs, nothing like that to send out messages. So they would get someone who was very fast and could yell really loud, and this person would run around to tell the news. So now I'm going to let you pretend you are messengers. So do your arms like you're really fast. And we're going to yell out, Jesus is coming. You ready? Jesus is coming. Do it again. Jesus is coming. So Zacchaeus was inside his home, and he heard the messenger say, Jesus is coming. Then the messenger was on his way to tell other people. So Zacchaeus thought, I've heard of that man Jesus. He knew that he healed people. He knew that sometimes he raised them from the dead. He knew that really bad people could have a changed life because Jesus came into their lives. So he thought, aha, maybe I can go see this man and see what he's like. So he was a little bit curious. So we're going to have him now going very quickly to the town. So in the town of Jericho is where he was going to be. So I can imagine as he got to the town, here the messenger was still yelling and telling people, Jesus is coming! Jesus is coming! And then he would be on his way to tell other people. So here we have Zacchaeus over on the side. And also we have a big tree. Do you know what kind of tree this is?
The sycamore.
The sycamore tree that we sang about a moment ago. So as the messenger was telling people, Jesus is coming, people started crowding around. They thought this is a good place. And Zacchaeus was yelling, you're getting in front of me. But he was very short. He couldn't see over them. They didn't like him anyway, so they didn't care. So here they are just crowding in because all these people want to see Jesus. So then we have some kids who come. Well, one of the men said, well, let's let the children go up front because they knew the children had such a special place in Jesus' heart. So here Zacchaeus is. I can imagine him at the back just going, but he still couldn't see Jesus. And then all at once, it was just like a hush over the whole crowd. And he knew Jesus must be there. And even though Jesus didn't have a microphone, it was just like he had such a powerful voice. Even though he wasn't a loud, yelling person, when he spoke, all these people could hear. And so Zacchaeus is at the back thinking, I don't have a chance. I'm not going to see him. And then he spied that tree. And he thought, well, they're not going to let me in front. Then maybe if I just sort of go around them all. So he just sort of sneaked off real quietly and went around them all. And he just climbed right up in that tree so he could see Jesus. And he saw Jesus just standing right there. And it was such a special moment for him. And Jesus knew he was up there. And he said, Zacchaeus, you come down. And the people looked, and they knew this was the mean guy up in the tree. And so Zacchaeus listened to Jesus and came right down. And look at him, how small he is beside of Jesus. And Jesus just got closer and took him by the hand. And he said, Zacchaeus, I'm going to your house today. And all these people who were here started muttering, why is he going to his house? He's just mean. He's nasty. Why is Jesus going there? And Jesus heard them. And he told the people, I came to earth to save people. I came to earth to help those people who had strayed away from God. And today is the day of salvation for Zacchaeus. So you know what he did? He went right to Zacchaeus' home. And when he got there, here's these big columns, because remember, Zacchaeus was a very rich man. So we have these columns made of marble. Not only that, but beautiful furnishings within his home. And Zacchaeus told the servants, he had lots of servants, he was that rich. He said, please prepare the food for Jesus. And we'll put 2 of the glasses here of the juice. And Jesus is here on the one side. And then we're going to have Zacchaeus on the other side. And he talked to Zacchaeus about the wrongdoings he had done. And you know what Zacchaeus said? He said, Jesus, I'm really sorry for all the mean stuff I've done. Remember at the beginning he had 2 sets of money bags? He said, I'm just going to take one of those and I'm going to give half of all the money that I own. I'm going to give half of it to the poor people. And you know what else? I'm really sorry I've been mean to all those people. So I'm going to, as each one comes up and lets me know what all I've stolen from them, I'm going to give it back 4 times. Which means if he took 2 monies from people, 2 times 4 is 8. So he took 2, he would give 8 back. And that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. And he said, I am so sorry for all the mean stuff I've done, Jesus. And Jesus said, Zacchaeus, I forgive you. And those are such precious words. That's what we can say if we do bad stuff. Jesus, I'm sorry I did that. Or tell your brothers, I'm sorry. And they can say, I forgive you. Because Jesus is still in the forgiving business. Thank you, kids, for your attention. I hope you've learned a lot about Zacchaeus today. Thank you. And now we'll